Doing that topic made me want to do this topic with you. Now let's pretend we are anonymous scouts. So we're obviously not. We are on record. I'm asking you to do something you and I normally wouldn't do, which is don't worry about people who could clip this and come after us for things we say. But let's preface the whole conversation. We're going to pretend that we are anonymous scouts, being as brutally honest as we want with players in the NBA draft, and let's go through some of our favorites and anonymously, non-anonymously evaluate them. Are you game for this?
I love this. I also want to anonymously be referred to as Brian Ralph for the extent of this anonymous video.
So I think this is a new loophole. I think we could just say every video we want to be anonymous.
Yeah.
And then if people don't honor that we asked to be anonymous, that's on them for not honoring. We no, that wasn't me. I was anonymous.
Those were actually our sources.
Yeah, right. All right, so let's just start at the top. Let's be anonymous. Cooper Flag.
I anonymously don't think his ceiling's as high as everybody else's.
Wow. Okay. For the sake of time, I want to be like quick on these. Literally, you get to give 1 to 2 sentences like the anonymous scouts do. Do you want to
Yeah.
add any other sentence to that, or is it just that?
He'll be a great second fiddle. He's not going to be your franchise player.
Okay. Anonymously, Cooper Flag. The competitiveness is great. The clutch gene isn't. Make sure you win the game before the final 30 seconds if Cooper Flag is your go-to guy. Dylan Harper.
Young. No, I'm just kidding. I think Dylan Harper has the most game in this class. It's just a matter of like how locked in he'll be.
Anonymously, he was sick 90% of last year. Or was he opting out? Was he ducking certain games? I have some questions about the validity of the sickness that plagued Dylan Harper for 3.5 months last year.
He was anonymously sick.
He was anonymously sick. Ace Bailey.
Ace Bailey, he will be the worst pick in the top 10.
This kid, the person, is someone I want zero part of if my job is on the line. The basketball player, I 100% am game for, but you are drafting a human being, and everything on that side is scary to me with Ace Bailey. Con Knipple.
This one's short and sweet, safest option outside of Cooper Flag in the draft.
Mm. Uh, Anonymously, if Khan is taken in the top 5 of this draft, that GM should lose their job. Khan is getting an enormous boost from being a role player next to Cooper Flag. His job was as easy as any players in the country last season. He played between Man, Cooper Flag, and a bunch of great 23-year-old role players. And if an NBA team wants him to be a first or second option, I'd be terrified. Trey Johnson?
I don't know. On like that's the only way to describe it. That's the only way. I just don't know. On one hand, I think he's like a bigger, taller Jeremiah Fears, which I adore. And on the other hand, I'm like, volume shooter and inconsistent.
Yeah, I would only have praise for Trey Johnson, so I don't even want to do anonymously. I think he's great. This video is brought to you by NBA 2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Oh,
Ooh,
okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
Please
Bang.
lock in.
St. John's. That's New
New
York.
York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado is.
It's in Colorado. There's a state of
Is that
Colorado.
this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. VJ Edgecombe.
I'm good.
Anonymously, 95% of the good things I've seen are just dunky dunks and summer Team Bahamas highlights. It didn't translate to winning at all at Baylor. He never led his team to anything. He's a highlight reel player, not a winning player.
Ooh, can I add something on him? I
Yeah.
just when you said Bahamas, this I want to anonymously say he will play for the Bahamas, not Team USA.
Anonymously, he could go by Valdez and he goes by VJ. Don't draft him. Jeremiah Fears.
Sneaky gonna be one of the best players in this draft. And it might not be so sneaky anymore. I think everybody's starting to trend towards that.
Yeah, anonymously, the best thing that ever happened to him was getting out of Illinois and going to Oklahoma. This kid has now been seen for what he really will be, instead of trying to fit into something that has churned up and spit out a lot of different players. He went to the Jeremiah Fears show, and it was the best thing for him. Yegor Demon.
Ugh. Uh, Tall Ricky Rubio, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Ooh. Uh, Tantalizing prospect. BYU got significantly better when they took responsibility away from him. And that would scare me in the lottery. I don't think you're drafting Yegor Demon to be the role he ended up at BYU. Kasparis Yakashonis.
Anonymously slow, really slow. I struggle to see him staying in front of anybody at the NBA level. I struggle to see him getting around anybody at the NBA level, but also anonymously has some Luka Doncic to him that I can't get out of my head. So I also might take him 1-1.
Anonymously, a sloppy, unorganized basketball player with one go-to move that is the worst shot in basketball. Anonymously, a defensive liability. Anonymously, uh, a a guy who mysteriously hurt his forearm, and we never heard why and what happened. But anonymously, there were kind of behind the scenes reports that something weird happened at practice, but anonymously, we never heard because we kept it anonymous. Anonymously, I think he's a total bust in the NBA. I really do. Let's do Jace Richardson.
Anonymously short, needs shoes. I anonymously want Jace to send me what he had inside of his shoes that helped him grow 2.5 inches because I want them in my shoes. Ace Bailey, I want whatever you had in your shoes where you went from like 6'7" to 6'11 because I want those too. But also not anonymously, the most skilled prospect in this class.
Danny Wolf. I want to do Danny Wolf and Will Riley, and then we'll stop.
Danny Wolf, tantalizing, polarizing, probably gonna flame out though.
Anonymous. Excuse me, I'm choking because I don't want to say this. Anonymously, nothing that he did in college translates to the NBA. Danny Wolf needs to be a role player. Danny Wolf needed everything catered to him at Michigan, and it was. There were ups and downs because anonymously, Danny Wolf can't score. Danny Wolf has a horrible shot. He has a slow release. He doesn't even jump on his jumpers. He's a limited athlete. Defensively, he's nowhere near as good as the credit that he gets. His decision making is questionable for all of the highlight reel passes that he has. Anonymously, unless he's running your second unit, it will not work for Danny Wolf. And lastly, Will Riley.
I think Will Riley could be out of the league before his rookie contract's up and the MVP in Europe. I also think Will Riley might win Six Man of the Year 4 times. I don't think Will Riley has a ton of in between.
Anonymously, we don't know what Will Riley can fully do because Will Riley was asked to back up Benham Rickhouse for 3.5 months. Anonymously, at all times, this was the most gifted offensive player on Illinois last year, and not for 1 second was he treated like it. His scoring bursts came out of nowhere, and Brad Underwood seems surprised by them. He was a witness to Kasparis Yakashonis' team. And that didn't work for Illinois, and it didn't work for Will Riley. He may surprise everybody pleasantly when he gets to the league.
I anonymously want to say I would also start Hunt Rickhouse over Will Riley. Free my dog, Hunt Rizzy.
I anonymously never want to do this again. I feel like that's going to come back to bite